All right, all right. This is Nexxlegacy Radio. I am Branded here with a beautiful guest. I sought this young lady out for this specific reason. Not only am I appreciating her independent business music, her business grind, I wanted to put this in perspective as we do music interviews and we do a lot of other different content, but also we are empowering our women. We are supporting our women in every way, shape, or form. We just want to make sure that we get the word out to let people know exactly what's going on in our communities, in our support system to help our women, and more. So what we're going to do today on Nexxlegacy Radio is we're going to talk to this young lady. We're going to talk about her business grind, how and why she got started, what's going on in our society today where we need to do, say, and be proactive more to help our women, enhance their confidence and more. So I want everybody out there that's listening to get to know, and we're going to have that nice conversation with Olivia Alford, founder, owner at 38 Expressions LLC, and more details as far as all her social media stuff like that will be forthcoming. But I want to welcome the Queen. Liv, how you doing, Queen?
I am doing okay. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Listen, I am very, very intrigued by you. And when I say that, I'm saying that when I sought you out, I was like, you know what? Mm-hmm. I need to know more about her business, how she got started. Yeah. What's up with you? Why did you get to this point as far as where you're at in your business life right now? So how did you get started with 38 Expressions? Tell me the story.
Okay, so I've been at 38 Expressions. I started it back April 28th of last year. I remember I felt like I was released to go ahead and share with the world all my talents, right? I love writing. It's something that I've always loved doing. I didn't go to school for it, no journalism degree, none of that. It's just raw talent, and then, you're perfecting your craft as you go along. And so for me, it's something that it comes naturally. And I noticed that for a lot of people it didn't. And I noticed that a lot of people had things to say, but they didn't know how to say it, and I did. There were a lot of people who, they would show me their written work, and I could easily just point out the ways that they need to make it flow, the grammatical errors, things like that. And it just came easy for me, and I recognized that it was a problem that I could solve, right? Because, you don't go into business because you're passionate about something. You go into business because you see a problem that you could solve. And I saw that, hey, this is something I'm passionate about, and I can help individuals who have a story, but they don't know how to put it into words, or not just stories, like business profiles, blogging, things like that. I could do it just like that, and so I'm solving a problem for them. So I began to monetize my passion, so that's how that happened. Yeah.
It's funny how I'm listening to you talk about it, and I'm like, okay, she sounds like just a lot of other people who's just trying to figure it out and find that one thing in life. It's obviously there's more, but one part of your passion as far as what you want to do and enhance that. So when you found that it was a gift that I always feel like you have when it comes to enhancing that, what was one of the first things you started doing? Was like, okay, well, not just monetize it, but I need to start making a plan. So on a business perspective, how did you figure out that you gotta lace this down and start building a website or trying to create social media content, stuff like that?
The content, yeah. Well, it just I was working for someone and became the content coordinator for One magazine. We got it started, and I did not realize that the work that I was doing would be something that I would later on have the skill set, for my business. I didn't recognize it then. I guess, let me just say, at first I was doing this for people for free. So I would write resumes. People would come to me like, can you check this out for me? And it was just like that. I was like, as long as you don't mind the red lines, because you're going to get them, you know. But I was doing it I was doing it for free. And then I also recognized that, because I've always been business-minded. Even before I got into this, I'm from Missouri, from Southeast Missouri. So I remember back in 2009, my brother and I, we actually opened up a storefront selling shoes. And it was shoes because I love shoes, right? And I had an eye for unique shoes, and I knew how to do it. But it just wasn't it, right? So fast forward all the way to 2019, I saw that. So I was asked the question, if there was one thing that you could do forever, if money were no issue, what would it be? And it was instantly writing, and that began because I was a caregiver before. I was a caregiver in 2019, and I loved it. I loved being, I loved what I did. And so, but whenever I was asked that question, and then I went through a program called New Rules, where you're learning your skills, your gifts and talents, and then emotional intelligence, then I saw that, wait a minute, Liv, you actually have what it takes to get out there, right, and actually create a business doing this. Now, what could that look like? So then I sat down and wrote that plan. But the whole time I remember writing my 5190, and I remember 3 years. I said, in 3 years, I will have a business, not just writing, but editing, proofreading, ghostwriting. And then I think about the end of last year, I had pulled that 5190 up, and I was like, wow, you did it, So I didn't necessarily do it like everybody else sat down and do it. My path was very different. I didn't write out a business plan, though it's in my head. I just kind of did it, and I'm doing it, So mine is, the ways for me have been unconventional or not what everybody else does, but I think that that's where the gifting comes from, because through the magazines, I've had people reach out that are in other towns and other states saying, hey, we saw your writing in this, and I figured maybe you do this and you do that, and it's opened doors for me in that kind of way, right? I've not had to go and borrow money to create the business. That was one thing I didn't want to do. I just made the money. I built my website. I've built other people's websites. I do my social media. So I use all of my gifts. So I've not had to follow the traditional ways of doing it. Mine's a little bit different. I will say, though, I did have to get a professional development coach, though. I did get one this year.
Well, you got to start. You got to start enhancing your brand when you get to a point in time in your business career, your early part, to be like, you know what, I've seen I put this vision out there. It's active. I need to probably enhance that. So that's when you start seeking out, like, other opinions when it comes to certain things like that. So you mentioned something that's important to all business owners too. Like, sometimes you may not come off the top rope, with the conventional way of going about doing your business. Some of the stuff that you've done over the course of time has been done for free. Sometimes you're going to run into certain situations where you're going to be, active, but also, look, at the end of the day, I just need people to understand that I am running a business. It is a business where it is monetized. I do have fees. Yes. I do have certain things like that. So in your business life so far, when has that shifted? Because we're both entrepreneurs, right? I've run into situations where, a lot of people expected certain things for free, but then they tend to act differently when it's time to pay. Have you ever run into that situation? And if you have, how do you manage that conversation in a sense?
Yes. Yes, I have actually. It's funny that you're bringing that up, because I think that's going to be a lesson that a lot of business owners learn, is to know your worth, and your prices are your prices, and people are going to pay for what they're going to pay for. And it's something that I've learned is there are people that I will understand that maybe I won't charge, I'll go a certain route. You're still going to be charged what I charge, but I'll do it different, right? But I think one thing I've learned is, okay, I have contracts. and they're very tight, right? And so I ran into a situation to where I recognized that I was being taken advantage of, and I thought that it was more of a relationship to where I knew the person. So, you know, you would think that the ones that you know would not be the ones to take advantage. So I kind of did some things, you know, for less than what I would normally charge. And then I noticed that things were starting to happen to where, okay, there was a bit of manipulation and there was a bit of taking advantage of. And then so I get real professional. We do things through email. We don't text. So we're going to have, when I see that, then I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I keep this business only, to kind of save the relationship, right? So then I noticed the person wanted to change up the contract, and I think that was the first time where I felt like I needed to enforce the contract, and it came at the risk of losing the relationship. But then I had to go and weigh what this is going to look like, because as you said, this is a business. I wouldn't come to your business and ask for a discount. You're supposed to be a friend, and so I'm going to definitely pay full price. And then, so I lost the friend. Not only did I terminate the contract and was not willing to do what she'd asked me to do, but I feel like I also lost a friend. So that was hard to deal with, but it was a lesson in being careful with who you write your contracts for, and then also just charging everybody the same price no matter who they are, because you're going to come across that. And when you're generous and when you're a giver, you really have to have boundaries in business. And someone just mentioned to me yesterday, he said, remember that your business is your business, but also it's business and it's personal, because while I'm treating this as a business, it's personal because it's my business, you know. And so I've had to learn how to, you got to have boundaries, and you got to be able to say, no, this is what it is, and stand firm in that. So those are some lessons that I'm having to learn. I think I had to learn that one the hard way, I would say. But I'm real big. I really don't play like that. I have contracts for a reason. And when it's time to enforce them, you get to find out what people really feel about you. When you say, no, I won't do this for free. When you say, hey, we're going to charge for that, you get to find out how people feel. So that's an experience, you know.
Hey, amen to that. Olivia Alford is my guest. She's the founder, owner at 38 Expressions. She's here with me live on Nexxlegacy Radio. And real quick on that, and then, you know, other stuff we could talk about as well. But when you said that you lost a friendship based on just some of the business dealings, throughout my 15-year plus career, as far as that goes, it's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to a lot of other people that's listening and people who are experiencing that live right now as we speak. One of the most important things that I always feel like that I take when it comes to that is, you know, don't seek out people. People will come seek out you, so you can be able to kind of build it in such a way where you can start just, you know, you can separate the business and the personal, and some people can't. But also when it comes to your own self-worth, like you mentioned, it's important to make sure that we hold that near and dear to our hearts, because I would die for my company, and I know you would do the same thing for yours. You know what I'm saying? So it's that simple when you have that much passion, that much, you know, stick-to-itiveness to get to that point where you just want to see your business prevail, so you can be able to pass that down for generations to generations, right? Exactly. So my question to you overall is, when it comes to people's business, their mission statement, what, you know, and I'm going to put women, not necessarily just Black women, but women in general, because it's hard for a woman to run a business and be successful when there is so many different obstacles, like jealousy, like, you know, profiling, so many different obstacles that do come over, you know, you have to overcome in addition to you trying to run your brand. So what can you say, not just for yourself and me and other people, as far as sticking, you know, with the program, as far as trying to get the best out of your business? What can we do to help our women? Because we need more women to be business owners, to be confident that they can do it and not being used as, you know, a sex object or anything like that. So words of confidence we need for our women, for real.
I would say for me personally, I think that the biggest thing that has helped me is the people, and I'm going to say men in general, because I am who I am, right? I am a strong woman, and I'm a strong Black woman, right? And I'm doing this, and it's happening, and there are things that, you know, that I got to walk through. There are sometimes I deal with imposter syndrome, you know. There's a lot that you have to deal with internally and externally. So for me, the biggest thing that has helped me is the support. And because you get a lot of people who are intimidated by strong Black women, and I'm just going to say strong Black women because that's what I'm identifying with, when a lot of times, you know, a strong Black woman is a strong Black woman because she had no choice, you know, she had no choice but to overcome certain things. So, of course, she's going to become strong, but it doesn't mean that she doesn't come home and need a safe place, or she doesn't, you know, like have those moments where she's weak. So having a safe place, having a support system, having someone to say, okay, you don't have, you lay your sword and shield down and just rest. That has been something that has been good for me, is to be okay with being authentic, you know, being Olivia, being me, even when I'm tired. So I think that for me and for some other women around me that I know, sometimes we just need a safe place to not be strong, and then just to kind of have that support, because it's hard. You know, it's really hard, especially because I'm a mother, you know, and I'm a single mother, and I take care of my kids. My oldest is in college. My youngest, he's 11, you know, and I still support them. And so there's some weight that I have to carry that sometimes I just want to be able to lay that weight down. So sometimes we just need to know we can lay it down rather than being intimidated by us. Create that space for us to not have to be so strong all the time. That's what I look for, you know, and that's not just in, that's in friendships, that's in, can I just be myself for a second, you know, because it's hard. Yeah. Do I have to be, you know, because I'm going to make it happen, you know, we're going to do that, but support. A lot of times we really need that support. So that's the biggest thing for me. I would say within the community, just creating those opportunities for women who, you know, you can sit down and have coffee with someone and you can hear their mindset, but they may have obstacles to where they don't even know where to start, right? They don't even know who to talk to. They don't have the mentorships. They don't have coaches. So just providing that for them, providing a way to where they don't have to learn certain things through experience. They can learn it through instruction. You know, those are some of the things that have helped me. You know,
I think giving in
come along and just like what
role.
You're doing.
I mean, and on the real, like, you know, spotlighting our women, I feel like this. Olivia Alford's my guest. She is the founder, owner at 38 Express, and she's my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. And look, I always look at it like this, and, you know, you know, people are going to say this is blasphemy when I say this, and I'm putting this out there for the radio land, but people who know me know this. You know, women are smarter than men. Men, we're dumb. We don't pay attention to as much stuff as we need to in terms of, you know, y'all outlive us, all that stuff. So putting women in the forefront of what's important is key to how we function and go about our business anyway. So if you have strong women, it's only going to make, from a man's perspective, it's only going to make things a lot more simpler in terms of communication and how we relate to each other when we can be able to see that. Already, it's always been hard for women, Black women as well, when it comes to the rights to vote, the salary structure that's going on in this world today. And if you're so banked on trying to be able to fit yourself into that business category, just go own your business. Own your business and dictate what you do as a CEO of your brand. And I think that's like super important for people to strive to. Leave that for your kids, kids, and all that stuff. I feel like generational wealth and health, mental health too, is key for all of our successes moving forward, right? And, This is a Black conversation, but this is also a conversation that the world should have in terms of just trying to be just great. But I think where we as a society sometimes miss that boat when it comes to certain things like that. Do you agree? Or there's still hope for us to be able to kind of change certain things around. It's not material. It's all about just, generational support. Like, I got to support my wife or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? We have to change our narrative in certain cases.
Exactly. I think the one thing that I have to deal with, and I'll take this into the family and like the whole, like so many people are intimidated. And that's not just like our men. I've come up against, like when I've been in the 9-to-5 world where they were intimidated. And it's like, I'm actually here to help you. I'm actually here to add value to you in an excellent way. And so rather than being intimidated by it or thinking it's competition, take the help, because I'm here. I'm not here to take your place. I'm not here to dominate. I'm not here to do anything. I'm here to add to you. Let me do that. And I think that if we could see that, because that's a huge thing. People are intimidated by greatness. And a lot of times we're just trying to come in and how do I help you, and being open to that. And then you mentioned like the mental health and things like that. I honestly think, a lot of people have a lot of traumas that they deal with, and until you deal with that, you can't even be a great business owner because you can't show up as your best self, right? So you got to be continuously growing and evolving and opening yourself up. If you want to own corporations, do things like that, you've got to deal with all of that. All of that plays a role in how you show up to the world, right? Because you don't want to get this big old spotlight and then your insecurities come out under that. And so I always say my prayer is, God, deal with my character before you put me out there so I don't fall. Right? Before you give me this influence, am I ready for that to lead people? Because I feel like my business isn't just for my children and my children's children. I want to be able to open a door to hire individuals and teach them and and then eventually they're not working for me anymore. They may have the mind to start their own business and branch out. So there's a lot more to it. For me. So, but you got to be emotionally ready, mentally ready, physically ready in all aspects before you get yourself out there, because you got to deal with some stuff. You got to have emotional intelligence. You definitely got to. And then to be able to have a business in a world full of sharks and not become one of those is difficult.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. When you have standards and character and things, it's difficult when you come up against people who are willing to pull anybody else down to make it to the top, and that's not how you operate. It's difficult,
It is, and a lot of people need to know that, embrace that, and just know and understand that it's okay to do things your path. If you feel comfortable, and one thing, Liv, I'll tell you, like, for a fact, as far as that goes, and I know this is probably the same about you, as I'm getting to know you too and understand how your business grind is and how you move. One thing nobody in life can ever take away of is your effort. If you're trying to do not just the best that you can personally, but trying to help others too with no conditions, then that should be a win-win that people can see. So people can say anything they want to say about me, but they will never, ever, ever question my effort. Because if they start questioning my effort, when it's clear as day that people have seen me try, I may not have tried and succeeded with everything that I have, but at least I've tried to help you. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy for me to do that and put that effort in, but a lot of people, in the misconception that a lot of people have, shouldn't even be that, because you know what? Hey, at least he tried. At least she tried. At least she put that best effort in, or at least he put that best effort in, and let it be what it is. But, with my queen, 38expressionsllc.com is a website. Make sure y'all go ahead and check this out. From my young lady who is doing great things and stuff like that, Olivia Alford's my guest. But check it out. Back to your business. When it comes to getting in contact with you, so people can go to your website, know more about the business, know more about, how you move social media wise, because this is how I found you. So how can others find you in order to do business?
Just like you said, you can head over to 38expressionsllc.com, and I've made the website very, very simple so that when you go on it, you're not having to search and figure out what I do. I purposely made it very, very simple. And then you can email me at 38expressions@gmail.com, or you can shoot me a text or give me a call, 850-815-9378, and I will answer. And then you can find me on Facebook at 38 Expressions LLC, and also Instagram 38 Expressions LLC. And you can add me, Olivia Alford, at Facebook. And then if I don't, I have to move you over. I have two Facebook pages because they only let you have so many friendships, And so it's Olivia Alford or Liv Alford, and I'll add you, and we can connect and network a little bit. So that's how you can find me. 38expressionsllc.com. Yeah.
And before I ask you a couple more questions, how did you come up with the name 38 Expressions?
So I prayed about it actually, and I wanted something that would stick. And I prayed about it because I needed something. Because I quickly, as soon as I felt released, I immediately got my license. I think it took me 30 minutes to get my license, get my website set up, all of that. So I needed to make sure it was something nobody else had. So I turned 38 last year, April 1st. And I felt like that was the year that I was released to actually share my talents and gifts with not just, locally, but with the world, right? And the expressions is, we have a lot of ways to express ourselves, and I can help you express yourself in written articulation, or, you can call ghostwriting. You never have to write it down. You can call me and tell me your story, and I can take that and translate it. So the 38 was, me turning 38. The expressions is there's more ways, to express yourself. So, yeah. 38 years, and then I get to, and I will say it's never too late. I don't care how old you are. It is never too late to start doing the thing that you're passionate about, because a lot of people started businesses before I did. I'm 38 years. I'm 39 now, and so it's never too late to get that started. So that's that. Yeah.
Nah, girl, you a late bloomer, but it's like you said, it's never too late. I feel like I didn't really find my path until like later in life, right? You know what I'm saying? As far as who I wanted to become and where I wanted to go. So it's cool if you find something that can soon to be bigger than yourself, because your brand now, Liv, is bigger than you. The station is bigger than me. What people are doing for their own self-development and their business grind is bigger than them. Like you said earlier, we're not trying to leave it just for our kids. We're trying to lead this for people to be inspired by, so they can be able to turn something that they have as far as an idea into something real, into something that'll last forever at the end of the day. And that's really how it should be laced out for people who may not find the corporate world to their liking. They may be turned off by it for a lot of different political reasons or whatever, but this is an opportunity, especially if you have something that in your heart can be shared with the world. This is going to be a good look. So what I want to do now is I want you to basically, before I give you one final question, I want you to give your shout out. So you have the floor, whoever you want to shout out with. And before you do that, I'm going to put it out there for the people that do go to this young lady's website, people that do. I'm saying this now, and I'm going to obviously run this interview, back again. It'll be on Spotify. It'll be on Apple Podcasts. People can be able to run this back, right? So people go to our website, get a quote, do actual business with this young lady, Liv. I will give you a $25 Amazon gift card. Whoever does. The invoice, Liv will let me know that it's there, but I will as a station chip in, give the first 2-3 people a $25 Amazon gift card if you are conducting real business with this real woman who is needed in this industry of all industries. You know what I mean? So I'm putting it out there for the world. $25 Amazon gift card if you are conducting and doing real business with Liv. Putting it out there. Now, Liv, go ahead and do your shout outs. Anybody you want to shout out, the floor is yours.
Actually, so that I'm being fair, I'm not going to give any names. What I'm going to do is shout out all of the people who have walked alongside me and allowed me to be myself. And I mean all of me, all of Liz, you know. I'm shouting out those people that have mentored me, the ones that are currently mentoring me, and then have opened up opportunities, and a lot of those people have been here in Tallahassee. I guess I will say a few names, and hopefully nobody will, you know, get upset, but I will say some of the people that came alongside me and walked with me and saw value and helped me get there. I would say Paula DeVoge Johnson, Barbara Westcott, two of my really great friends, Shayna Acree, Carrie Ann Raphael. I appreciate them for walking alongside me. LaShawn, she's my professional development coach, and for seeing in me sometimes the things that I couldn't see. And there's a young man, his name I won't give, but he has supported me and just really, really pushed me and taught me things that I didn't realize I needed to know. So I'll just shout those people out. But there are a lot of people that have come alongside me and just helped me get to where I need to be by just simply believing in me and speaking life, you know, and those are a few. They've opened up doors and opportunities for me I didn't even ask for. So those are some people that I'll shout out.
Amen to that. Look at you. Look at you. I feel like you did just enough to get the world out there to know a little bit about yourself and stuff like that. So with one final question coming, I got to throw this out there because you put it on your Facebook page on one of your profile hits or whatnot. It's a Maya Angelou quote. My mission in life is to not merely to survive, but to thrive. And to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. I think if you and all of us can be able to emulate those and put that into action, there's nothing we could do. We could always do what we need to do and set out to do if you put that as your life mission, right?
Yes. And I love that quote because I feel like it embodies everything that I am. It doesn't just because I feel like I'm multifaceted, and it doesn't just limit me and label me and put me in a box of she's this, she's that, she's this, and she's that. I'm all of the above and some, you know. And so, and I live like that. And I enjoy life, and I believe that I love my family. I love my boys. I love life. I love to laugh. I love business. I love people, you know, and so I'm not just out here grinding to just like I'm in one mode. This is when you see me, there's life here, you know. And I love that quote because I felt like it embodied all that I am, you know. So yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, and I always feel like, you know, I again, as we started the show, I sought this young lady out because I saw everything that she's trying to do, went on her website, did a little research before I made that phone call and reached out to her and was like, you know what, I need you to come out and let these, you know, millions of people from, you know, all over the states and overseas to know about your business. But deeper than that, my appreciation level is beyond a 10 because I see what you're trying to do. I see how you're doing it, and I see the manner in which you're doing it. And I have to support it. It's you know, it's one of those situations where you just can't deny what the gift is. You know what I mean? So it's easy for me to just say, hey, you know what? I appreciate you. I want you to come on and not just, you know, inspire the masses out there too, but inspire other women to want to be more, do more, become more. You know what I'm saying? So this is a gift. And one final question is really music related. This is a station. We do play music. We do put stuff out there. So what's in your playlist right now?
I love music, right? I love all music. So my playlist varies from day to day, from moment to moment.
Okay.
I guess if we were to take, I'll just say
Like
that
your
my
mood,
playlist
like your
is a
mood
little
right
bit.
now. Like your mood right now. What's your mood currently, and what off the top of your head what do you think about along with your current mood on this morning, this weekend, on this Sunday?
Let me see. There's a song. I was trying to find the name of it. I forgot her name. And it, I don't know. You got me with this word. You got me with this one.
Listen, I always tell people
song
with the music ones though. But you know what? But if you have anything, if you're a little bit like me, you could throw in, you know what I'm saying, one day or one, part of the day I could feel like Tupac. Let me throw some of that in, and then I could put
Yes.
Alicia Keys in later. You know what I'm saying? I could throw Alicia Keys in, or I could throw in, I could even go backwards and put in some classic Stevie Wonder or some Natalie Cole or some Marvin Gaye or something like that. You know what I mean? So, you sound like me in a sense where it does vary. It depends on the mood.
That's how I am. It's going to depend on the day. It's going to depend on what I'm feeling. I guess I had a song in my motivational. I have a lot of playlists. But I had one, and I wanted to pull it up because I can't remember the name. I think her name is Raspity.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And there, I really wanted to. Hold on. Let me see. Hers not. Oh, it played. I didn't mean for it to play. She has a song, and it's should be in my. Hold on. But it talked about, her song talked about, like, it was a motivational song, and it talked about being a strong Black woman and out and making it happen with your business, and being a light and the gift that you have and not holding it back. I know I had this song in my playlist because I would rather just tell you the name of the song. Probably should go through my playlist, but it was one by Raspity.
Okay.
Can't remember the name of it.
Nah, if it hit me, you gotta let me know so I can if it's either on rotation on our station, or I could put that in. I could put that in by request, so I can make sure I could do that up. So, nah, it's all good, and I always throw that out there because people start thinking about music, and it is mood driven. If you're feeling aggressive, then you're gonna put in some hip hop, and
you're gonna put that in there, right?
If you feel romantic, you want to throw something in, or if you just feel chill, there's some nice neo-centric songs or whatnot where you just, you're good. So, music is expression at the end of the day, and sometimes that drives as a motivating factor for a lot of people and stuff like that too. So, it's all love. Olivia is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. She is the CEO of 38 Expressions. If you want to contact her, hit her up at 38expressions@gmail.com. Hit up the website, 38expressionsllc.com. And if I'm reading this right, give me a high five, Liv, if I'm saying it to your satisfaction. That 38 Expressions, specializing in creating, editing, and proofreading various written media and communication. Whether transactional, persuasive, informational, or instructional, Liv has over 38 ways to influence your audience through written expression. So make sure y'all go ahead and hit up our social media and tap in, because I'm a supporter, and offline you and I will talk about furthering our relationship in terms of trying to get the message out as well. So we have a lot of things to talk about and discuss. But at this point in time, I want to not just thank you for coming on the Nexxlegacy Radio, but thank you for making all of us believers. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to see and appreciate and admire, but when you really start talking to and getting some passion out of that person about what they love to do, it creates a whole different room for all of us to want to be in. So I want to thank you for taking the time out and basically thank you for being that woman that we could be inspired by too in the process. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on here. I appreciate it. Looking forward to getting to know you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.